Yeah, I mean, he was the true visionary. You know, in the entrepreneurial world, you have to have visionaries and then you have people to carry it out. Dad was a true visionary. And he always talked about surrounding yourself with good people. Definitely, Dad, he always said that he may have had the idea, but it really truly was a community effort. And it's continued to be that way. And we've been very fortunate at Gift of Life to be able to have the community, the board members that we've had who truly, I say, bleed Gift of Life, that have really backed the mission and the vision that Dad had. Because without them, this would just be an idea. And Dad would tell you that.
I think the history surrounding the Gift of Life House and patients seeing that connection with the clinic, people really connect with that as something that they go through as well, and that they know that this was set up in the context of someone who has gone through what they've gone through, and I think that they find that there's certainly a great solace in that when they come to reflect through that transplant experience. So I think that there will be more people requiring kidney transplant. We're certainly seeing an increase in age in the people requiring a kidney transplant, and that's not going to change in the next 10 years either. So there will be just this growing need for space for people to stay when they come to Rochester.
I think when they named the house, we'd drive down the street and he'd say, "Could you ever imagine that you would see our name on that house?" And he had started it, but he gave it to everybody else and they ran with it. And I mean, we were just happy having people in our house, except our house was too small, and that's what I would tell people. I said, we would have been happy to have you at our house, but it just got too small. I said there wasn't enough room, and the program kept growing and growing, and what a wonderful thing it has become. So
what it is, it's more than lodging for our patients. It is a home for them in Rochester. It is also a support group. It's a home since most of our patients come from outside Rochester. We do around 600 transplants a year, and our CAR T-cell volume is increasing in addition to that, and perhaps 90% come from outside the county area. And for patients to be able to see other patients that are, say, a couple weeks before them or a month after them, that are dealing now with this fight, the graft versus host disease, or are going through the chemotherapy, I think it's quite important. One thing I highlight is that the transplant house is really a critical part of the bone marrow transplant and the CAR T program.
For over 35 years, Gift of Life Transplant House has provided a home that helps and heals to transplant patients and their caregivers in a home-like, supportive environment. But in the last 2 months, Gift of Life Transplant House has sent 211 guests to hotels. Growing to meet the need, Gift of Life Transplant House plans to expand our Anne and Henry Zero home by 78%. It was through the generosity, commitment, and vision of benefactors like yourselves that Gift of Life began in 1984 and continued to grow to the 84 rooms we have today. With that same generosity, vision, and support, Gift of Life Transplant House will be able to provide lodging to an additional 1,400 guests. Thank you so much.